Hello everybody and welcome to Portal 2. So this is my second attempt at doing this little idea for the series that I've had. I wanted to listen to the developer commentary and I thought I could do Portal 2 with RTX. But as it turns out, Portal 2 with RTX does not seem to have all of the maps touched up or anything like that. So, doesn't seem like, A, we're going to be able to do that. So I thought, okay, what's something else we can do so it's not just me playing it again with the developer commentary. So my next thought was I could go through each chapter and do the achievements. So I made this little graphic that's got this cute little portal thing because I had some extra space. And yes, I did do it in MS Paint because that's where the best art comes from. And all these numbers are for what chapter each achievement's in. Because the game has 51 achievements, and I've only got something like 19 of them, and I want to get at least half of them. And that might sound like a lot that I'm missing out on this little graphic I've made. And my counterpoint is a lot of those are co-op ones, and as I alluded to in the previous video, I don't have friends. So, yeah, and you can see the date and time right here. So, we're going to be working at those. Only problem is, I got 7 minutes into the previous take of this video before I realized that achievements are disabled during developer commentary. So I thought for a while, and eventually, I came up with this idea where I would play through it with the developer commentary so I can remember all the things, and then for chapters 2, 3, 6, 8, and 9, I guess, I'll just replay it, but with developer commentary turned off, so that I can actually get the achievements, and I'll document my achievement hunting and all that. I guess the only other thing I need to mention is I did use AI to assist me in my searching, mainly to find out what chapter number all of these are in. Actually, let me save this. There we go. And I also used it to kind of look at strategies and all that, because otherwise doing the research would have taken like 35, 40 more hours than it needed to. So, yeah. Updates and all that away. We're gonna try and get through this with as little annoyance as possible, because it seems like there's gonna be a lot of that when trying to listen to those little developer speech bubbles. But yeah, that's just kind of what I figured I'm gonna do. So, the current goal is to get to 25 or 26 achievements, which means I'm going to need 6 or 7. Don't you dare get that stupid Gen Alpha meme shit in my comment section. So about 6 or 7 achievements minimum, and I've got 10 potential ones up here. So, seems like it's a nice little challenge, and it's just something that I wanted to do, so we're going to do it. So, we're going to start, and you'll notice it doesn't say anywhere here that it disables achievements. It just says you can't save progress, which is already weird, but, you know. And after looking it up, I understand why it disabled achievements. It's because, I guess it makes you invincible while listening to the text bubbles, but for some reason it doesn't quiet everything else down, which seems like a bit of an oversight. Anyways, so we're not going to be doing the co-op ones. We're starting here. I can't double click on those. Neat. So yeah, the graphics are going to look a bit dated, but that's mainly because I can't upgrade the graphics.
Good morning.
Sue
You have
me.
been in suspension for 50 days. In compliance with state and federal regulations, all testing candidates in the Aperture Science Extended Relaxation Center must be revived periodically for a mandatory physical and mental wellness exercise. You will hear a buzzer. When you hear the buzzer, look up at the ceiling.
Alright, so we're not going to be doing that stuff until I get all of these, because I had really annoying time trying to do that before. So,
Hi, my name is Gabe Newell, and welcome to Portal 2. When we released the original Portal in 2007, it was an experiment to see how gamers would respond to a different kind of gameplay and storytelling experience. Portal went on to win a bunch of awards, sell many copies, and, most importantly, resonate with gamers in a way that no other Valve title has. The challenges for us in building Portal 2 were to live up to people's expectations, to take you back to the world of Chell and Aperture Science, and to surprise gamers again, not with more of the same, but with more of the new. And I think it will be, mostly, a pleasant surprise. To listen to a commentary node, put your crosshair over the floating commentary symbol and press your use key. To stop a commentary node, put your crosshair over the rotating node and press the use key again. Some commentary nodes may take control of the game in order to show something to you. In these cases, simply press your use key again to stop the commentary. Please let me know what you think after you've had a chance to play Portal 2. I can be reached at gaben@valvesoftware.com. I get about 10,000 emails each time we release a game, and while I can't respond to all of them, I do read all of them.
aw.
Thanks, and have fun.
I might actually submit him an email about this issue that I'm having. But that's super sweet. Good guy. Also, yeah, I did notice once with that ladder thing that it actually like made me look up, and I wasn't touching it at all. So it might do a lot more of that this time. Alright, so...
The writers went back and forth over whether or not Wheatley had tried escaping with other test subjects before waking the player up. It was an interesting idea, and you can still hear remnants of the story arc in some of the dialogue. But at the end of the day, it was just too expansive a concept to sell. So it's hinted at, but not overtly mentioned until the end.
Interesting.
The idea of being stuck forever in a state of stasis that looked like a crappy old motel room had been in our minds for a long time, but we weren't sure exactly how we wanted to rip you out of it. There was some debate over whether the opening sequence happened inside the player's head or not. There was an alternate opening where Aperture had hooked up all of its cryo-stored test subjects to an incredibly boring hotel room simulator, which Wheatley would then wake the player from. Eventually, this was discarded as too difficult to explain in the short time allotted, and we opted to change the hotel room to a container ride on a rail. This allowed us to show the player, rather than tell them about how they and other test subjects have been stored, show some of the scale of the facility, and even hint at how much time has passed. We also get to gradually reveal all of this through the destruction of the container itself as it moves and bangs into things. Overall, this gives the player a much more dynamic and visceral introduction to Portal 2.
Interesting. Hey, CRT. Alright. Are there any others? Nothing in there. Alright.
Good. You will hear a buzzer. When you hear the buzzer, look down at the floor.
Oh. Yeah.
Good. This completes the gymnastic portion of your mandatory physical and mental wellness exercise. There is a framed painting on the wall. Please go stand in front of it.
It is
This
quite
is
pretty.
art. You will hear a buzzer. When you hear the buzzer, stare at the art. You should now feel mentally reinvigorated. If you suspect staring at art has not provided the required intellectual sustenance, reflect briefly on this classical music. Good. Now please return to your bed.
Yeah, so I was having issues with this because I tried to press mouse 4 on this speech bubble, and it did this instead.
Hi, my name is Gabe Newell, and welcome to Portal 2. When we released the original Portal in 2007, it was an experiment to see how gamers would respond to a different kind of gameplay and storytelling experience. Portal went on to win a bunch of awards, sell many copies, and, most importantly, resonate with gamers in a way that no other Valve title has. The challenges for us in building Portal 2 were to live up to people's expectations,
Okay.
to take you
I'm
back
just
to the
gonna
world of Chell and Aperture
unpause
Science,
when he
and
stops
to surprise
talking.
gamers.
Oh, there it is.
Hello. Go on.
I wonder if they actually
Open
like
the door.
did they fix the issue that I was having? I really like that if they did.
Go on.
Also, you can see the scan lines in this. That's actually impressive. It's awesome.
Hello?
What's
Open
it
the
say?
door.
This message brought to you by Aperture Laboratories. Okay.
Hello?
Wheatley, shut the fuck up.
Hello? Ah! Ah! Oh, God. You look good. Looking good, actually. Are you okay? Are you... Don't answer that. I'm absolutely sure you're fine. There's plenty of time for you to recover. Just take it slow.
Please prepare for emergency evacuation.
Stay calm. Stay calm. Prepare. That's all I'm saying. Prepare. It's all fine. All right? Don't move. I'm going to get us out of here. Oh, you might want to hang on to something. Word of advice. Up to you.
Going to go in the closet. I cannot go in the closet.
You all right down there? Can you hear me? Hello? Most test
Tom.
subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer, and it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage. But don't be alarmed, all right? Although if you do feel alarmed, try to hold on to that feeling, because that is the proper reaction to being told that you've got brain damage. Do you understand what I'm saying at all? Does any of this make any sense? Just tell me. Just say yes. Okay, what you're doing there is jumping. You just jumped. But never mind. Say apple. Apple. Okay, you know what? That's close enough. Just hold tight.
All reactor core safeguards are now non-functional. Please prepare for reactor core meltdown.
Oh, that can't be good.
Okay, look, I wasn't going to mention this to you, but I'm in pretty hot water here. How you doing down there? You still holding on? The reserve power ran out, so of course the whole relaxation centre stops waking up the bloody test subjects.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on, this is a bit tricky. And of course, nobody tells me anything. No, why should you tell me anything? Why should I be kept informed? You know, about the life functions of the 10,000 bloody test subjects I'm supposed to be in charge of. Why? It's close. Can you see? Am I gonna make it through? Have I got enough space? Just gotta get through here. Okay, I just gotta concentrate. And whose
Okay.
fault do you think it's gonna be when the management comes down here and finds 10,000 flipping vegetables? Alright, so no, I hit that one. I hit that one. Okay, listen, we should get our story straight, alright? If anyone asks, and no one's gonna ask, don't worry, but if anyone asks, tell them as far as you know, the last time you checked, everyone looked pretty much alive, alright? Not dead. Okay,
Pretty much.
almost there. On the other side of that wall is one of the old testing tracks. There's a piece of equipment in there that we're gonna need to get out of here. I think this is a docking station. Get ready. Good news, that is not a docking station. So there's one mystery solved. I'm going to attempt a manual override on this wall. Could get a bit technical. Hold on.
I also forgot to mention that you're probably going to hear my mouse and keyboard. I'm sorry, I've done my best to make it as quiet as possible.
Seriously, do hold on this time.
I can't make it those things.
There we go. Now, I'll be honest, you are...
Sorry. I can't make those things inaudible without messing with your ability to hear me and all that. I think that's more important. And I think that making it inaudible... No, I don't think that. Like, literally making it inaudible is just reverting to my old audio setup, which I don't want to do, because that was much worse. And there was lots of points where my voice was cut out by the noise filter and all that. So this is the best I can do with such short notice and my very, very low budget. So, yeah. And I will also try to keep these videos... Actually, no. If I'm doing a chapter of video, then... No, it's not going to be an hour per. So, yeah. Anyways.
Are probably in no fit state to run this particular type of cognitive gauntlet, but at least you're a good jumper, so you got the jumping on your side. Just do your best, and I'll meet you up ahead. That's the spirit.
The container ride destruction sequence provided some unique technical challenges. The dynamics you experience are actually computed as two separate but nested simulations. The first is a core scale simulation designed as a stress element analysis pass. This pass computes the overall gross motion of the container itself and computes the collisions and breakpoints based on path keyframe data and a network of constraints. As the container bumps and crashes along, the constraints start breaking and the room progressively starts to come apart. There are over 300 rigid bodies and 900 constraints in this rig.
Physics, 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 physics,
tensile,
physics.
friction, and collision response. The core simulation portrayed gross motion that captured the main dynamics of the ride, but not the fine details. The product of the core simulation was then used to deform spline-based surfaces representing the container geometry, which in turn were parents to fine debris anchored as rigid bodies. As the surface deformations increase, anchors are broken and the fine debris rigid bodies are released into the simulation. The fine simulation also includes the interior furniture and the model detailing. The two simulations were then connected using cache data and were driven together by a series of scripts. Due to the computational complexities of having two nested simulations, we had to come up with some solutions to some interesting mathematical problems. One problem was that the nested nature of the simulations resulted in some instability in the fine debris calculations due to floating point computational limits. The solution employed for this was to compute the fine debris on a stage where the root transform of the core simulation was essentially cancelled out and stored for later use. This allowed us to more accurately detect the fine interactions between the debris and the environment. Post-simulation, the root transform position and inertia were reapplied to the details. We solved the problem of trying to compute the player within this highly dynamic environment by putting them in a virtual room that has all the base shapes of the rendered container, but is simply used to compute player navigation. It's hidden somewhere else in the map. The viewpoint of the player is then parented to the core simulation transform, resulting in the final rendered frame. At the end of the ride, the player is teleported into the actual game space. The simulations were iterative, enabling us to sculpt the dynamics in parallel with gameplay design. In the final product, there are over 1,200 rigid bodies, 900 constraints, and 1,000 joints. With all the iterations combined, the actual runtime spent computing the simulation was 92.4875 days.
Christ. That was so much technical information all at once. My brain feels like it's mush now. That is way over even my head. That is crazy, but that does sound like a lot of work. Yeah, I can tell why they're proud of their physics engine. That is an unbelievable amount of stuff to do for that.
Hello, and again, welcome to the Aperture Science Enrichment Center. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties due to circumstances of potentially apocalyptic significance beyond our control. However, thanks to emergency testing protocols, testing can continue. These pre-recorded messages will provide instructional and motivational support so that science can still be done, even in the event of environmental, social, economic, or structural collapse. The portal will open and emergency testing will begin in 3, 2, 1.
There it is. I like how it's got the 12 o'clock thing, like it's a VCR. Oh, I actually don't look bad. Alright. Man, this would have looked pretty in RTX if they had actually made it in RTX.
Button-based testing remains an important tool for science, even in a dire emergency. If cube and button-based testing caused this emergency, don't worry. The odds of this happening twice are very slim.
Wait, have they always gone orange when they're actuating something? I don't remember that at all. That's pretty neat.
Please note the incandescent particle field across the exit. This Aperture Science Material Emancipation Grill will vaporize any unauthorized equipment that passes through it.
Yarp. Alright. Loading screen.
If you feel liquid running down your neck, relax, lie on your back, and apply immediate pressure to your temples. You are simply experiencing a rare reaction in which the Material Emancipation Grill may have emancipated the ear tubes inside your head.
That's where you're wrong, kiddo. I probably don't have ear tubes. Alright.
This room is meant to teach players the fundamentals of portals, connecting them to two places in the world. As the blue portal moves around the world, the orange stays rooted. In the original portal, this room had these portals moving by themselves on a timer. This led to most people simply staring through their orange portal waiting for the blue one to end up in the right place. We felt that altering this to make the players decide where the portals came out was more instructive, and meant that players who already knew how to use portals could solve this puzzle both quickly and with authority.
All right. Oh, something's shaking. Ah. All right. Okay, yeah, so that's the button, so I want the cube. All right. Yoink. And doink. And the scientific term, I believe, is called kersploink. Alright, let's see if I can just walk backwards into it.
Good. Because of the technical difficulties we are currently experiencing, your test environment is unsupervised. Before re-entering a relaxation vault at the conclusion of testing, please take a moment to write down the results of your test. An Aperture Science Reintegration Associate will revive you for an interview when society has been rebuilt.
Alright. Thankfully, the loading is quite fast. I'm wondering what's bottlenecking is my processor, maybe?
By a manner of animal king, sentient cloud, or other governing body that either refuses to or is incapable of listening to reason.
Okay.
Hey, you made it! There should be a portal device on that podium over there. I can't see it though. Maybe it fell off. Do you want to go and have a quick look?
Oh, jeez. Fucking jump scare.
Hello?
Forgot about that.
Can you see the portal gun? Also, are you alive? That's important. Should have asked that first. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to work on the assumption that you're still alive, and I'm just going to wait for you up ahead.
He said the word.
I'll wait 1 hour, then I'll come back, and assuming I can locate your dead body, I'll bury you. All right? Brilliant. Go team! See you in an hour, hopefully. If you're not dead.
We thought of making a whole new character for Portal 2, but we didn't want to lose the relationship between Gladys and Chill that began in Portal 1. Once we decided to stay with Chill, we wanted to improve her look, updating her leg springs and jumpsuit to have a more functional design. At the same time, we didn't want players to not recognize her, so we kept a lot of the iconic elements like the color orange. She has folded down her jumpsuit to show she has essentially rolled up her sleeves and shed some of the Aperture label. She is awake again to test, but stronger and more determined than ever.
Huh. Okay. Yoink. Alright. Oh. Interesting. Oh man, look at those monitors. He's so pretty. And the computer. Lovely. Just ignore the voice crack that just happened, right? I did not say lovely.
Some emergency testing may require prolonged interaction with lethal military androids. Rest assured that all lethal military androids have been taught to read and provided with 1 copy of the Laws of Robotics to share.
Right.
If you feel a lethal military android has not respected your rights at the detailed Law of Robotics, please note on your support for more. Future science associates will take the appropriate reevaluating paperwork.
However many years on, what is it, 15 years on now? Still pretty dang funny. That clicking you heard was my
This
thumbs.
next test is very dangerous. To help you remain tranquil in the face of almost certain death, smooth jazz will be deployed in 3, 2, 1.
And then buzzer. Oh, or not. Alright.
This map was one of the first of the older Portal maps that we beat up and decayed to bind the two games together. The smooth jazz joke is probably the oldest one in the game. The team discovered through playtesting that smooth jazz was funny to all ages, genders, and cultures.
Yeah, I guess they do have to play test it with all those factors in mind, don't they? And all those different kinds of people, too. Interesting. I never thought of that. I thought it was just like, yeah, test it to make sure that the game works. And, you know, that the game works in a decent and, what's the word? A decent and intuitive way. That's the word. Oh. Yoink.
Great work. Because this message is pre-recorded, any observations related to your performance are speculation on our part. Please disregard any undeserved compliments.
Starting out in the ruins of the test chambers from the first Portal was our goal pretty much from day one. We wanted to give players a sense of nostalgia for what they had played, but also make it very clear that things had changed. Not only in a fictional sense, but in a graphical one as well. We needed to bridge the gap between the first game's simpler art assets and the much more complex look of Portal 2.
Yes. And I think I've said this in my original... In my original playthrough of Portal 2, I love the look of, the, like, nature and technology fused together. It's always been something I've loved. This is gonna shatter, right? Yes. Okay, that's what I was remembering from the first game. Alright. Oh, and I can't get there, can I? Oh, they gave it a way out just in case. Neat. I don't know how well you can hear that. That is wind. It is a windy winter day outside. Unreason. Huh. Pretty key, computer, and keyboard, and such. Okay. Where to next, video game? Oh, it is here. I thought that I was supposed to go up those stairs to progress. I'm an idiot. That pop was my elbow. Again. Evacuation training.
If the Enrichment Center is currently being bombarded with fireballs, meteorites, or other objects from space, please avoid unsheltered testing areas wherever a lack of shelter from space debris does not appear to be a deliberate part of the test.
Interesting. Oh. Where? Oh, okay. Yeah, alright. Good to know. And then there's the sludge there. Oh. Yoink. Alright, then this... Yes. Just, yeah, keep furiously jerking off that physics engine. It's okay. After hearing what he went through to make that room, I get it.
Remind you that although circumstances may appear bleak, you are not alone. all Aperture Science personality constructs will remain functional in apocalyptic, low-power environments of as few as 1.1 volts.
That is an important little bit of backstory, or lore, if you will.
This next test applies the principles of momentum to movement through portals. If the laws of physics no longer apply in the future, God help you.
Wait, where did that camera go? What? Oh, it fell down there. Huh. Alright. I like how they add motion blur in. Like, that is an okay amount of motion blur compared to some that I've seen in other games.
If you are a non-employee who has discovered this facility amid the ruins of civilization, welcome. And remember, testing is the future, and the future starts with you.
Also, I don't know how well you can hear it, but my microphone cord and my mouse cord occasionally get tangled up, so apologies if that's annoying.
Much of the fun in
Not
Portal
much I
is
can do
based on
about
the
it.
joy of the aha moment when you learn something new. The game needs a very specific pacing to ensure these moments. If things are too easy, then you're robbed of that moment since it feels like you didn't accomplish anything. If it's too hard, then players feel stupid instead of smart when they finally realize that one small part of the puzzle that they were missing. Unfortunately, trying to create that delicate balance leads to a lot of shuffling of levels and a lot of revisions and tweaks to existing levels. When we started the project, making any big structural change in a level or the order of levels would lead to hours or even days of busy work trying to reconnect things and make sure they lined up again. If we ever wanted to ship something the size of Portal, with the finely tuned balance we desired, then we needed a way to be able to make the big changes to the layout of the game without paying the cost of making everything line up again. We needed a way to bend space. We needed to think with portals. Using portals to connect different areas in the world, we could make any type of impossible space work out. You could look through a hallway into the next room, but the hallway might be on the other side of the map, and the room you were looking into might be in a completely different orientation. We could seamlessly insert an elevator, a huge expansive vista, a room that was bigger on the inside than the outside, or even create an infinite fall by connecting a shaft back into itself. Soon every connection between any space was a portal. We could even switch them on the fly. Even a simple door worked like the cartoons, just a facade painted on a wall that seamlessly opened somewhere else entirely. Once the game settled down, we were able to finalize our path and remove all the world portals. There's only one impossible space left in the whole game. See if we can figure out where it is.
Interesting. I'm actually curious what that is. I'll probably have to look that up between episodes. Okay, so, yep, portal down there, or portal there, question mark. Go there. Yoink. Okay, so... Ah, there. Alright, bang, bang, bang. Oh. I don't need to break the glass. Alright. Oh, shit. Okay. Try that again. Oh. There we go.
Good work getting this far, future starter. That said, if you are simple-minded, bold, or irradiated in such a way that the future should not start with you, please return to your primitive tribe and send back someone better qualified for testing.
Irradiated.
To ensure that sufficient power remains for core testing protocols, all safety devices have been disabled. The Enrichment Center respects your right to have questions or concerns about this policy.
But not the ability to answer them.
Aye, aye! I'm up here! Oh, brilliant! You did find a portal gun! Oh, do you know what? It just goes to show people with brain damage are the real heroes in the end, aren't they, at the end of the day? brave. Pop a portal on that wall behind me there, and I'll meet you on the other side of the room.
This interaction with Wheatley was the first that we hooked up for our initial showing at E3. It demonstrated how Wheatley would be an actor in the world, and how the player would not only be interacting with him directly, but also using him to interact with the Aperture facility.
I thought that would have been a lot longer than it was. Okay.
Right behind me.
Yep. Oh. Oh, I was grabbing.
Okay, listen, let me lay something on you here. It's pretty heavy. They told me never, never, ever to disengage myself from my management rail or I would die. But we're out of options here, so get ready to catch me, all right, on the off chance that I'm not dead the moment I pop off this thing. On 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's high. It's too high, isn't it, really, that? All right, going on 3 just gives you too much time to think about it. Let's go on 1 this time. Okay, ready? 1. Catch me, catch me, catch me! Ow! Ow!
The Wheatley model was designed as a mechanical version of the original Portal 1 personality sphere.
Plug me into that stick on the wall.
Originally, they filled a very similar role to that in Portal 1, so we needed one base model which could hold a lot of different expressions. Experimenting with different rigging ideas, we came up with the onion skin design, where a number of spherical plates could slide around inside each other, all supported on a small motion platform mounted on a gyroscope. This meant that no matter what expression Wheatley was pulling, he always retained his spherical shape. The modelers and the animators collaborated closely on these early tests to make sure the design supported the range of expression needed to satisfy any personality sphere that got designed. Lots of ideas were thrown out, such as a small internal robot arm that Wheatley could pull out of one of his ports and pull himself around with. We were careful to make the mechanics look plausible, but we had to cheat the eyelids, since they ended up being a physical impossibility. There was no way all that geometry could fit into the space around his eye without clipping out the other side. But they were such an essential feature of the model that we resorted to crushing them up inside the eye, where the player can't see them.
Oh, yeah, I can kind of see that. Interesting. Huh.
Plug me into that stick on the wall over there. I'll show you something. Yeah, I can't do it if you're watching. Seriously, I'm not joking. Can you just turn around for a second? All right, you can turn around now. Bam! Secret panel. That I opened while your back was turned. And off we go. Look at this! No rail to tell us where to go. Oh, this is brilliant. We can go wherever we want. Just hold on though. Where are we going? Seriously. Hang on. Let me just get my bearings. Just follow the rail, actually.
How do you make a giant mechanical eyeball express life and emotions, let alone give the impression that he's talking when he has no mouth? The animator's understanding of human behavior came in handy for bringing Wheatley the personality sphere to life. Talking is so much more than just moving a character's mouth. You have to use body language, head attitudes, and rhythm of movement and eye focus to indicate a character's feelings and motivations. Slow, smooth head moves, a steady gaze, and a relaxed eye aperture indicate that Wheatley is calm. Short, sharp head turns, rapid blinks, and glancing around indicate nervousness or deceit. Add a tightly constricted eye aperture and a little shiver to show fear.
Oh, he's actually doing it.
The body away while keeping the eye focused on the player signals an attempt at cleverness that ultimately only fools Wheatley himself. Suspicion is communicated by squinting his eyelids and handles, which function as very expressive eyebrows and cheeks. It's also fun to remind the player that Wheatley is a machine. When hacking, his eye and body segments become perfectly centered and spin mechanically, inspired by the spinning tape reels on old UNIVAC computers.
Right.
And when he wants to look far in front, he flips his eye all the way over to the other side of his head. This animation approach, combined with the writing and vocals, makes Wheatley quite a unique and entertaining character. Part human, part machine, all eye, and no brain.
Wow, having him actually do that put the biggest, stupidest, like having him do the things that she was talking about while she was talking about it, put the biggest, stupidest smile on my face. That's awesome. Also, I can see, like, if there were Oscars for, like, CGI and everything in video games, like, this would have gotten one. This is amazing. Like, the same thing for Dog from Half-Life 2. It is crazy how much detail there is in that.
Oh no. Yes, hello, no, we're not stopping. Don't make eye contact, whatever you do. No, thanks, we're good. Appreciate it. Keep moving, keep moving.
Hello.
Eye contact.
Hello.
Anyways.
I'm different.
I'm different. Airlock engaged. Oh, okay.
Probably ought to bring you up to speed on something right now. In order to escape, we're going to have to go through her chamber, and she will probably kill us if she's awake. If you want to just call it quits, and we could just sit here forever, that's an option. Option A, sit here, do nothing. Option B, go through there, and if she's alive, she'll almost certainly kill us. So, if you've got any reservations whatsoever about this plan, now would be a tremendous time to voice them. Right now. In case you thought to yourself, I've missed the window of time to voice my reservations. It's still open.
All right. Oh, don't look down.
Okay, I'm going to lay my cards on the table. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go in there. Don't go in there. She's off. She's off. Don't panic over. She's off. All fine. On we go.
Okay, from over here.
There she is. What a nasty piece of work she was, honestly. Like a proper maniac. Do you know who ended up taking her down in the end? You're not going to believe this. A human. I know. I wouldn't have believed either. Apparently this human escaped and nobody's seen him since. Then there was a sort of long chunk of time where absolutely nothing happened. And then there's us escaping now. So that's pretty much the whole story. You're up to speed. Don't touch anything.
Okay.
Originally, GLaDOS was built to curl up and disguise herself as one of her rings, potentially explaining how she had survived the explosion at the end of Portal 1. But this wasn't a very dramatic reveal, so we threw it out in favor of spreading her out over a greater distance. This also made her more recognizable as GLaDOS when you initially crossed the room. The actual wake-up animation was a combination of simulated animation with a layer of hand-keyed animation over the top. A two-stage model was created for this scene. The first stage had separate pieces and connecting cables that would be drawn together by running a physics simulation so that the pieces would interact with the environment. Physics simulations were also used to break apart the objects GLaDOS crashed into while she rides around. At the point where GLaDOS rises free of contact with the ground, she switches instantaneously to a fully connected model with controls for hand-keyed animation. From this point, the animator enhanced GLaDOS's awakening by hand, choreographing the violent chaos of her re-emerging consciousness while at the same time conveying the weight of a machine the size of an airliner. Once the hand-keyed animation was done, a final simulation pass was run to animate the cables and dangling parts of GLaDOS's body. The scene was produced very rapidly for an E3 deadline, and a traditional rig for the sequence was never fully realized. This made it difficult when we extended the sequence after E3 to add further animation, but we accomplished it by bearing in mind that GLaDOS herself is pretty broken at this point. The last part of the sequence requires the player to lose control of their view while being immobilized by a giant mechanical pincher. Once the controlled camera takes over, a careful alignment and time synchronization was required to make all the hand-animated models and camera interact with each other. Each of the stages in this wake-up scene contain a variety of processes that are very challenging to achieve live in a game engine.
Interesting. I will be right back, though. One moment, please. Alright, I am back. Had to go to the bathroom. We are all good now. Alright, audio's still working. Yes. Okay. Oh, really? I can't? You can't let me stand on this little platform? Really? Okay, game. Can I just dunk you? Oh. Game just ends. I could do it right now. Alright.
Okay, down these stairs. Jump! This action. Ah! Oh, still held. Still being held. That's a great job. You've applied the grip. We're all fine. That's tremendous.
I like it when Wheatley tells me to apply grip. Oh, that's weird.
Ah! I just looked down. I do not recommend it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Ah! I've just done it again. is the main breaker room. Let's go in. Look for a switch that says escape pod. All right, don't touch anything else. Not interested in anything else. Don't touch anything else. Don't even look at anything else. Just, well, obviously you've got to look at everything else to find the escape pod. But as soon as you look at something and it doesn't say escape pod, look at something else. Look at the next thing, all right? But don't touch anything else or look at anything. Well, look at other things, but don't. You understand? Can you see it anywhere? I can't see it anywhere. Tell you what, plug me in and I'll turn the lights on.
All right. I'm sure nothing bad will happen, or no switches will be flipped either.
That's, God. I was quoting God. Oh, look at that. Turning. Ominous. But probably fine, as long as it doesn't start, moving up. Now. Escape pod. It's moving up. Okay, no, don't worry. I've got it.
Every switch.
Slow it down. No, makes it go faster.
Every switch.
Uh-oh.
Power up initiated.
Okay, don't panic. All right, stop panicking. I can still stop this. There's a pass. Okay, it's fine. I've just got
Can't.
Not a problem.
Can't even hit that.
A.
Whoa. Yeah, that's got a lot of weight to it, doesn't it? That almost looks like a claw hand.
C. Wait, did I do B? Do you have a pen? Start writing these down.
Power up complete.
I don't. Okay, listen. All right, new plan. Act natural. I've done nothing wrong.
Guten Tag.
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time. How have you been? I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me.
You did what? Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. But I think we can put our differences behind us. For science.
She's so deliciously evil.
I will say, though, that since you went to all the trouble of waking me up, you must really, really love to test. I love it too. There's just one small thing we need to take care of first.
You. Alright. I believe this is the next chapter. Potentially. We shall see. Whee! Ooh, spiky. Dunk.
Here we are, the incinerator room. Be careful not to trip over any parts of me that didn't get completely burned when you threw them down here. The dual portal device should be around here somewhere. Once you find it, we can start testing, just like old times.
Sounds good. Oh, okay. Thank you. There it is.
Hold on. There.
Yoink.
Good. You have a dual portal device. There should be a way back to the testing area up ahead.
Really? There we go.
Once testing starts, I'm required by protocol to keep interaction with you to a minimum. Luckily, we haven't started testing yet. This will be our only chance to talk. Here, let me get that for you. Do you know the biggest lesson I learned from what you did? I discovered I have a sort of black box quick save feature. In the event of a catastrophic failure, the last 2 minutes of my life are preserved for analysis. I was able, well, forced really, to relive you killing me again and again, forever. You know, if you'd done that to somebody else, they might devote their existence to exacting revenge. Luckily, I'm a bigger person than that. I'm happy to put this all behind us and get back to work. After all, we've got a lot to do, and only 60 more years to do it. More or less. I don't have the actuarial tables in front of me.
Interesting. One moment, please. I'm actually going to check to see when the transition to Chapter 2 starts. Alright, I've got no straight answer, so... Oh, God. I'm going to keep looking. One moment. Alright, so I've been told for a second time that chapter cues appear on screen, and I haven't seen any. So I'm just gonna take a leap of faith and see... Yeah, because courtesy call, cold boot. So it looks like it's got a loading screen like this that I need to look out for. It's not an aperture one. Yeah, nice. Oh, okay, now it fucking... Did I not see that before? I'm gonna have to look.
Sorry
God
about
damn
the
it.
mess. I've really let the place go since you killed me. By the way, thanks for that.
Sarcasm self-test complete.
Oh good, that's back online. I'll start getting everything else
I must have
working while
missed
you
it.
perform this first simple test, which involves deadly lasers and how test subjects react when locked in a room with deadly lasers.
Okay, well, I missed that one bubble, so... I'll be right back. I'm gonna go play through the entire game because saving is disabled and fucking get to it. One moment, please. And I'm back 30 minutes later. So,
I'll just
this...
move that out of the way for you. This place really is a wreck. But the important thing is you're back with me. And now I'm on to all your little tricks. So there's nothing to stop us from testing for the rest of your life. After that, who knows? I might take up a hobby. Reanimating the dead, maybe.
As I was saying, I just went through 30 minutes of level again just for this, so better be worth it.
When the player first encounters the robot arms, we wanted to convey that they were still coming back online. The idea was that GLaDOS was just waking up and hadn't yet fully regained control of them. Slowly over the course of the first few levels of this act, she gets more sure of herself and her ability to alter and mess with the lab increases. The arms presented a number of challenges, the key one being the interaction with the player. It was easy for the player to get stuck behind or inside of the models if they did something too complex. So we had to limit most of the arm action to the walls or ceilings of the test chambers, and we restricted their use on a larger scale to areas where we could be sure of the player's location.
I wonder if these tests, or not these tests, these playtests were recorded? Because I would love to watch those videos of them being playtested. That'd be so cool to see. Anyways, I think this is the ending of this part. Alright. Is this the end? We shall see. And I guess that's what I get for getting confused by bunches of different sources and bad information. There it is. Cool. So I missed one, of course. So, I don't know why that happened. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. This has been quite interesting so far. But yeah, hope you have a good rest of your day or night, and this has been Who Lover, signing off. Peace.